Sorry ass DJ.
Hey everybody, how you doing out there? And welcome back to Ranking the Victims' Death. I am on Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the 6th movie in the franchise. And when it comes to the deaths, I actually only have two things to kind of go with category-wise here, is that I really liked it, no matter if it was a surprise kill, a unique, or a holy shit moment there, or they were just very weak. Now, I did not check on Google of how many deaths there were like I have done in previous entries here, but I only have 10 that I'm going to be talking about here, and one of them, once again, Michael Myers having kind of like a group of people that he's taken out. And once I get to that one, in the way that I title it, you'll understand why I was doing it that way. Just like with part 5 with Sheriff Meeker and 7 other officers, I wasn't going to do them individually here. So I would definitely be kind of curious what your 10 is, or if you want to give me your best or your worst, that's perfectly fine. Just give me a comment down below and we shall discuss it. Let's get ourselves started. Number 10 is going to be Tim. So you got Tim and Beth. They just came back from a Halloween party. Beth is in the bedroom and he's actually taking a shower. He gets himself out of the shower. He's patting himself down with the towel there. He's looking at himself in the bathroom mirror. Michael Myers comes out of the shadows, slices his throat, grabs him by the back of the head, and then drags him off camera. And I'm just like, yeah. Because I would probably say the big reason is that just Tim's death just seems so weak, the way that the actor portrayed that death, almost as bad as Rachel from Halloween 5. No! Number 9 is going to be Barry Sims. He's kind of like our Howard Stern wannabe. When it comes to Barry, he was actually at this Halloween party. He was kind of like sort of the special guest there, and he was talking to Beth and talking to Tim. And it's like when he realizes that Tim lives in Michael Myers' house, they kind of cut the show there, and they're going to take it on the road to Myers' house there. So he actually gets on the phone. I don't know if he's talking to his producer, his agent, whoever he's talking to, and he's trying to get into his van. He eventually gets into his van while he's like pretty much cursing out whoever he's talking to. And after he shuts the door, and I don't know if he just hangs up on the person or if he was still talking to the person there, Michael Myers comes behind him, puts his hand over Barry's mouth, and then stabs him pretty low. So I'm assuming he stabs him in the stomach there. Now, I don't talk much about aftermath deaths really, but I will say that what actually kept him away from being the bottom was more of the aftermath death there, because you have a little girl who is I guess she's like saying, "Hey mommy, it's raining," and she's like in this like beautiful princess dress, and she has like all this red on her, which is blood. And we get Paul Rudd's character Tommy that is like hearing this and walks up to her, and then he finally looks up and there's Barry's dead body just hanging on the tree there, and then eventually he falls. Just him hanging off the tree, I did like that. Him falling, that was just okay. That's always kind of just, that's what normally is going to happen. Number 8 is going to be Room Full of Doctors and Nurses. So the thing is that all these cult doctors and nurses here, they're just, whatever they're about to do and start performing on a baby, I think it was. And here comes Michael Myers, and he actually picks up kind of a smaller version of Jason's machete there. He actually walks into the room and he just starts hacking and slashing and stabbing these doctors and nurses, and blood is hitting all over like the windows there. But the problem why I can only put it this high or this low, whatever you want to say, because I would have loved to have it a little higher if I could, was all of the like strobing, flashing lights there. And I'm just like, oh, it just like you barely could see what was going on with the deaths here. I don't know if that was just not a really good shot, or they were just trying to keep it more in the shadows. I don't know on that there. But I almost, like, I love that, but the damn just flashing lights, you're like only getting like bits and pieces of people getting hacked, slashed, and stabbed. Number 7 is going to be Nurse Mary. She is the first one who dies at the beginning of the movie here. She actually was helping out the Man in Black and the other doctors and nurses with Jamie's baby there, and the Man in Black had Jamie's baby. Well, somehow the nurse was eventually able to get the baby and give it to Jamie there and tell Jamie to get out and this is the way that you need to go and all that there. She hears a noise thinking that Jamie came back with her baby there, and we get this, in my opinion, great shot of Michael Myers' mask coming out of the shadows there, grabs this nurse, lifts her up, and from the back of the head, and shoves the back of her head into this spike here, and he kind of steps back and tilts his head like that little childlike as he did. But the only thing was that we've had this once before. I mean, this is another tribute to Bob from the very first Halloween movie. We already had a tribute in part 4 with Kelly, but the only difference was that she gets stabbed with a shotgun through the stomach area. And yeah, this is not just a knife, this is a spike, but I'm just like, okay, I've seen that before. Let's get a little bit more unique. Number 6 is going to be Truck Driver. So you get Jamie after she, gets her baby and she's able to escape where the nurse told her to go there, gets in this guy's truck who's having a bear, and, she's trying to say something, but he barely can hear it. It's raining outside there, and he gets as close as he can to the truck there, and then Michael Myers just comes out of nowhere just that quickly, breaks this guy's neck, and you get a bone sticking out, I believe, out of the back of his neck there. And I thought, holy shit, that's definitely almost feels like a Jason Voorhees kind of kill there. But I'm like, good job, Michael Myers. I did enjoy that one there for sure. Probably from this one until number 1 are ones that I really did like. And that was definitely a good surprise and a good unique one in my opinion there. Number 5 is going to be Jamie Lloyd, who ended up being the next one after this Truck Driver. After she drives away there, and we actually have Michael Myers driving behind her there, she ends up at some kind of farm there, and she ends up in a barn. She's trying to be as quiet as she can, and she's slowly walking through hay and all that, and eventually she bumps into Michael Myers, and Michael Myers pushes her onto this farm equipment, pretty much impales her. And she starts having a little conversation with him, of course, since Michael Myers doesn't talk, and say, you can't have the baby and all that there. And he kind of walks to the side of this farm equipment and turns it on. Now, I know she would have died, eventually she would have bled out there, but this would have just definitely put the final nail in the coffin for her, saying, yeah, I can't have the baby, you know what? Click on whatever button or lever that he pulled out, and then she's just kind of, her head kind of goes back. Number 4 is going to be Mill Cult Doctor. This is the only doctor who escaped from that room full of doctors. Michael Myers walks out of this room here, chasing down the doctor, and in front of the doctor we got Tommy and the final girl and her son. I can't remember her name at the moment right now. So the thing is that they end up closing this gate on the doctor, but maybe they don't even know that the doctor was back there, and it's like, help me, help me, help me. Michael Myers gets up to this doctor and pushes his head through the bars there, and just as much power as Michael Myers can push it until that door opens up, and then he just walks right past the doctor to continue chasing, Tommy and the other 2 characters. Number 3 is going to be Beth. So you actually got, Kara or something like that, I think is the final girl's name there. So she's actually at Tommy's house, and she's actually looking through a telescope, and she's looking through into actually her bedroom. And the thing is that she ends up calling and notices that Beth is there, and it's like, oh, this is Beth. And it's like, oh my God, look behind you there. And Michael Myers is behind her in slow motion, stabbing her in the back there. And I just love the hell out of that one. I think that was a damn good death there for sure. Number 2 is going to be Deborah. And this would be Kara and Tim's mother. So the thing is that she receives a really strange phone call. It's the man in black saying, where's the baby? And of course, she has no idea what's going on. But she sees somebody, which I don't know if it was the man in black or Myers, but she drops the phone and she runs through the kitchen, out the back, and she's got some white sheets hanging outside. They're air dried, and she has to kind of push her way through. She falls. She loses her glasses. She picks them up there. She moves another white sheet. There's Michael Myers standing right there with an axe. I think she even says Michael. He swings down, but we don't see We don't see what part that he actually hits. We just see the blood splatter go onto the white sheet there. And I'm like, yeah, I do enjoy that. I'm thinking more likely probably hacked her head, her neck, or something like that, more likely there. But number one, and I gotta say that this is my holy shit moment, is gotta be John. He's in the basement, and the washer is just like making these strange noises. It stops. He actually goes and investigates. He opens up the lid there. He picks up one piece of wet clothes because the water's still in the machine, and there's blood on there. He turns around, and there goes Michael Myers, and Michael Myers stabs him with something, but I don't know if it was just the kitchen knife or whatever he stabbed him with. It was so quick, but he lifts John up in the air, and he starts like moving him slowly. He actually gets him to like the fuse box, and then all of a sudden like he starts like, shaking around either his body, and his head blows up, and I'm like, yeah, that is definitely a damn good death there. Really enjoyed that there. Well, thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my ranking the victim's death of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have yourselves a good one. Bye.